going? We're Joe from Peeling Flesh, and I'm going to show you my kit today. To start, I bought a brand new Crush Sublime kit from 2018. Bought it from a guy on Reverb.com. Had it in his storage unit for like 2 or 3 years. Didn't really play it. Had like 2 or 3 shows on it. $1,000, really cheap. Obviously the gold sparkle, all the gold wrapped on the rims and everything here. Super aesthetic to all of our vibes. Cymbals, gold, obviously. So Crush drums has a special place in my heart. A good friend of mine from really back in the day had a Crush acrylic kit. It was all clear acrylic, sounded awesome. He was the one that showed me a lot of what I know about drums personally, and just having to apply everything around the kit. And he had a Crush drum kit, and I really, really wanted an acrylic drum kit. Before I bought this one, I went and tried to buy a DW 25-year anniversary acrylic kit. $2,500. Sweetwater didn't want to finance me. It's fine. So then I went and found this one, scoured, and fell in love with it. Super easy to tune. It's my first kit with 2 floor toms over here. So it's 2 up, 2 down, 22-inch kick. Super easy to use. Triggered to all hell, obviously. So we got 10, 12, 14, 16. I'm not too sure on the depths of them. I play slam, I don't really care. All Evans heads on everything. It's just a personal thing. They just sound the best. They're easiest to tune. A couple moon gels on each one. Tighten it up, everything sounds great. Yeah, G2 clears on everything toms except for the snare. The snare is a black chrome Evans always. Everyone always asks about how I get the ping snare tone, how I get my snare tone, how I all this and that. Steel snare, doesn't matter what it is. This is a Mapex Tomahawk. It's a 14-inch. Label kind of the Mapex side right there, but you can't really see the Tomahawk. It's on this side. But black chrome. Tune it to all hell. Tighten it as hard as you can. Push it down. That's going to be your best way to get the ping, in my opinion. I do use a Remo on my kick drum. It's a Remo black dot. I get pretty much 3 layers, so I get a regular ply of a normal head, plus the black dot ply, which adds as like another, just an extra layer, plus an EQ patch. So I try to get that 3 layers on there. I've rocked 3 tours on this head, and it's literally not even dented. So I mean, it's a win-win for me. Less money to spend on kick drum heads. The res on these drums that I bought are still the stock reses that he sent me, but they're brand new Remo reses. I think black on these 2 and black on this one. And I think this one's a yellow. They're like hydraulic yellow reso heads. I'm not too sure what it is. They sounded good, tuned them, didn't have a problem with it. Everything else from there is just stock hooping. We put these little gold strips on everything, like on the top and on the bottom. And on the sides on here too, just to add to the awesomeness of gold, you know, who knows. So Zildjian all the way, as much as I can. Zildjian, everywhere as the eye can see. But I'm not brand dependent because I'm not endorsed, so why would I be brand dependent? This one is a Zoltan. I'll actually pull this one out because a lot of people ask about this one too. It's faded to all hell, but this is from Thomann.eu, Thomman, the European company. They have their own brand of cymbals called Zoltan, which is like a Zildjian ripoff, I guess. But this is one of the loudest, stupidest bells I've ever heard in my life, and it was like $45, so I highly recommend. So I do use Saluda cymbals. Good company. They are fairly priced. They're really easy to get. I haven't had any problems necessarily with any of their customer service. They're really chill. They have a lot of different brands, a lot of different types of their brands. Like you can get a thin, you can get a medium thin, you can get a heavy, you can get dark, vented, really whatever you want of each brand that they make. So that's really cool. This one is a 17-inch Mystax. I think it's a medium thin. I just broke my 18-inch, so I had to pull this one out, but it is what it is. Yeah, that one is a 8-inch Zoltan Raw bell, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's exactly what it is. Zoltan 8-inch Raw bell. Super loud, super cheap, highly recommend. Everything else from here over, I try to do a custom. They last a long time. They sound great. I've beaten the hell out of this one. Super fine. This one's a heavy crash, a little bit thicker than my normal cymbals, but I don't really hit it too often because I'm usually coming over with the left hand just to hit for accent, so that's pretty cool. A 17-inch heavy crash. Over here is the 18-inch Oriental, good old reliable 18-inch Oriental China. Everyone uses it, everyone's always used it. Metalcore, deathcore, slam, works great. Classic 14-inch A custom hi-hats, nothing out of the ordinary, just normal. This one I had to buy on a whim because I keep breaking splashes on this tour. I'm not too sure what's going on, but this was a 10-inch S splash. It sounds good. Since I'm beating the hell out of splashes, I'm going to go ahead and buy cheap ones because why would I spend money on them? And then the last one, ooh, this one, got a story for this one. This is one of the old school Z Custom Mega Bell rides from like early 2000s, back in the day. Michael, our guitar player, bought it from a crackhead for $80. They asked for 150, he pulled up with 80, and they said, that works. And we've been using it for, shit, as long as I've probably been in bands with him, for probably like the last 5 years, and no dents, no cracks, no splitting. Can't complain at all. That one I think is a 21 inch, if I'm not mistaken. Big ass bell, but I think diameter is a 21 inch. Every logo, everything has been scraped off because it's so old, but you know how it goes. And then lastly, the 19 inch ultra hammered Zildjian. First time ever actually playing one of these and owning one of these. I've played for a couple, played on a couple kits that had them. I filled in for Suicide Silence one time on a whim in Canada. Ernie hurt his back and I just had to fill in a couple songs, but his kit was flooded with Orientals, ultra hammereds, and they sounded amazing. Fell in love immediately. But they cut through the mix so well. It's a 19 inch, so it's a little bit thicker than an 18 inch normally, so it doesn't have as lot of a bend to it as normal would, but it's pretty straight. I've been beating the hell out of it, and no cracks, no dents, no warps or anything, so far so good on those. So I use Fish Sticks. So they're a company from Australia. Not a ton of people use them. Paul Ibotson is the owner of the company. Super awesome guy. Only reason I use these sticks is because I'm very particular with length and weight. These sticks, I've never had a pair that's not balanced. Every single pair is balanced. Nylon tips, they just tend to ping on all the cymbals a little bit tighter, drums poppier. But these are 16.82 inches long exactly. 5B XN is what they call them, the Thunder Force brand of fish sticks. But they're just a little bit longer and a little bit heavier than your typical stick, so getting over everything and actually having leverage to really whip your stick is a lot easier with these. I do have a couple pair of backup because this is my last pair. Just Vader 5B, kind of shitty, but they work. So pedals, currently I'm using the Axis AL2s, modded to all hell because in my fair opinion, Axis are not very good nowadays, and I'm sure some people have complaints with them. I do too. It's okay. Everyone has their opinion. I have a buddy in California who has a company called Volta Innovation, so VOLTA Innovation. Newer company, he's a newer guy. He's been working with pedals for 18 plus years. Super awesome, super knowledgeable. He's been building me upgrades for my Axis pedals because they've constantly been falling apart. So to start, we have an upgraded drive shaft down here. They're best drive shaft I've ever had in my life. I don't even have words to describe how smooth it is. Give me brand new heel blocks for my Axis pedals, plus the heel risers. So my pedals are a little bit flatter than most pedals would be, but I do a lot of double strokes, so really just leaning over the pedals to get the double stroke action, works super easy. And then I use Trick Bigfoot beaters, the Pro V1 beaters. They're just the right amount of angle, have enough leverage, and I like the plastic of the flat because it tends to trigger my pedals a little bit easier, minimal mistriggering. Rock and Sock drum throne. Some dude at a venue gave it to me like 3 years ago, thought it was mine, wasn't. I've been using it ever since. Gotta love it. Over here, so classic Shure 215s. They work cheap, they have really good sound if you're looking just to start into in-ears. Over here, so we're using the Roland TM2 trigger module, the 2-out, best trigger module on the market. Don't even have to explain why. If you're a drummer in person and know about triggers, you know that this is going to be your best option for just anything triggerable. We have 2 LP16 Cymatic modules. One over here that I control the whole live set. I click and play and such. Bass comes from over here. 2 DI boxes. We have one for tracks, kick, and click. Everything is fed off a snake that I have coming from the module over there. Everything is tied in from all the mics. These are TG D58 Bayer Dynamic, so they're condenser microphones. You have to send phantom power to them. I don't use any overhead microphones or any underwash microphones or anything like that because these get so much of a wash from being condenser microphones. I do get a little bit of cymbal pickup from just my toms alone, so that helps a lot. Beta 57A, classic. My opinion, best snare mic, easy to work with. come out to a show. We have plenty of stuff started up for next year. A couple tours, got some stuff happening the end of this year. We are playing with Whitechapel on their Christmas shows, 3 days, December 19th, 20th, and 21st. That'll be with Whitechapel, Sangui, Sigabog, I think Gates to Hell, and us. Be really cool. And come out to a gig, come see some slams. Should be good.